Pickle. Hit the air raid sign for Monday Morning Fallout. Monday Morning Fallout, when we overreact to the football weekend across the state of Texas. And I would say there's a lot to overreact to, but we'll get to my opening kick here. Opening kick, chalkiest week ever, but almost not.
Yeah.
It was an astonishingly chalky week in Texas high school football in week 7, or week 8 rather. There were mild surprises, but there were games we figured to be close. But I don't know that there was necessarily any real shockers across state, which is strange because sometimes we talked about this last week on Thursday's show that we knew week 8 from a slate perspective was a little bit slow-ish, at least not as top-heavy as it has been in the past. Mm-hmm. But those weeks tend to be the ones that surprise us, tend to be the ones that shock us, tend to be the ones that there's some game we never saw coming that suddenly everybody's talking about. I will say I think there was one, and that falls in the almost not category.
Yep.
And it's Atascocita and Kingwood.
We spent so much time focusing on the fact that the Lake Travis Dripping Springs game could be a overlooked game. Mm-hmm. We did not give that one its due diligence.
Oh, no, we didn't.
That was shocking.
Kingwood gives Atascocita everything they want before Atascocita pulls it out late. And escapes is the only word to put it, with a 1-point victory. And we'll talk about Atascocita moving forward and what that means. The bottom line is you stack it in the left-hand column. We say win your clunkers. They won a clunker. It has major implications moving forward, but in the end, they won. When you take a look at the Texas high school football landscape, it was extremely chalky. I put this on Twitter, and please listen to please stay tuned to the rankings here coming up here in a little bit. But the 100, I think of the 100, and I think it's 35 teams that are ranked across the Texas high school football landscape, across all the divisions, they went 112-3. Okay, 112-3. And only one of those was to an unranked team. So it was a remarkably chalky week across the state of Texas. But stay tuned. Time for the game of the week. Game of the week. Frisco Panther Creek 46, Lake Dallas 44 in 4 overtimes.
You should have heard the no that Vianney Moreno let out when we saw this one go final. A Lake Dallas Falcon herself.
I know, it hurts. But this was a game that came down to the wire. It sounds like so Matt Stepp was at the game and he was live tweeting it, and I'm glad he was. Because it sounds like Frisco Panther Creek had this game sewn up and then fumbled a snap late, gave the ball back to Lake Dallas. Lake Dallas scores to force overtime. They end up going to 4 overtimes, and Frisco Panther Creek escapes with a 46-44 win in quadruple overtime. Yeah, that'll do, Pig. Pretty good. I like that kind of stuff. That's certainly got to be the game of the week. Time for my play of the week. And I say play of the week, I mean plays of the week. Okay?
But not the top 10 plays of the week yet. That's still to come.
So I'll take you exactly through what happened. Last night I was scripting Monday Morning Fallout, and I was like, man, I don't know if I saw a highlight that really
stuck out.
So I threw it out on Twitter. I said, hey, what was the play of the week? Like, just send me your and I got inundated with plays. Mm-hmm. And there were like 13 that could be on this list. And I ended up narrowing it down to 2, and I literally cannot choose between these 2. So I want you to vote in the comments on which one is the best one. The first one, we're going to Fort Bend Crawford, to running back Diedrich Polk, who has a 3-yard touchdown run. And you're thinking the same thing.
How?
That I was, which is...
Okay, cool.
Neat.
So did 8 bajillion other people.
The 3-yard touchdown run is perhaps the most boring score in all of football. I mean that sincerely.
Yeah.
Like, how many 3-yard touchdown runs have you seen in your life?
Yeah, more than I can count.
Correct.
It's not even like as fun as a 1-yard tush push, you know?
When I tell you that Diedrich Polk You have never seen a 3-yard touchdown run like this. My first play of the week.
Oh my goodness. What in the
For the
world?
podcast listeners, he gets caught like, it looked like right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm playing that again.
And gets hurled backwards, okay? Gets hurled backwards, like yeeted backwards. And he essentially gets thrown back where he somehow like does a somersault and keeps his balance. Watch this, okay. Yeah, he's behind the line of scrimmage. He gets yeeted.
Good. I mean, he went full helicopter.
Essentially does a cartwheel. He stays on his feet. Shout out to the quarterback who steadies him. And then he runs off right tackle for a touchdown.
That is insane.
When I told you, it's the wildest 3-yard touchdown run I've ever seen.
Yeah, because realistically, he ran for about 15 to 20 yards to get the actual touchdown itself.
Right. So Diedrich Polkathorpe and Crawford. That's my first play of the week.
Oh, goodness.
Here's my second play of the week, okay? And it's Brownsboro wide receiver Man Scott, okay? Brownsboro runs a trick play here, and you'll never believe like the catch that's made on a trick play. It's an amazing play on a normal play. You add in the fact that it's a trick play, and it just adds to it. Here's Man Scott from Brownsboro.
1st and 10. They're going to throw it outside. They're going to double pass here. Going deep. That's Man Scott. What a catch by Man Scott!
Wow.
One-handed grab. He's going to go almost the whole way. Just tackle at the one. Highlight reel right there for Man Scott. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, that put Odell to shame.
By the way, he's like great coverage.
Yeah.
And
oh,
he
yeah.
just goes up and like hauls it in one-handed. And I watched it back. He never brings the other hand in. So he does that. The only thing that would have made that better if he scored, but instead, like, again, shout out to the defender who did like everything he could. And he tracked him down at the 1-yard line.
That was full extension backwards, man.
So you have a catch and you have a run. You guys let me know in the comments which is the play of the week because I couldn't decide. Now you understand.
Yes, that's difficult.
It's time for my dude of the week. Hashtag dudes rock. It's the dudes rock dude of the week. And you got to let me know which dude rocked the hardest. Use the hashtag dudes rock. And we're going to Eagle Mountain. And you're thinking, wait a second. I've never heard of Eagle Mountain.
They're new.
And that's okay. They are new. Of course, Coach Jeremy Mullins left Toller to take over Eagle Mountain. They got a big win over Burkman this past week, their first district win. Congratulations to them. And running back Terry Starks went full workhorse in this game. 36 carries, 292 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the ground in their 56-26 win over Burke Burnett. Full workhorse was Terry Starks, the running back from Eagle Mountain. He's my hashtag Dudes Rock Dude of the Week. Time for the NFL Minute. It was a big weekend in the NFL. Cowboys did not play.
Thank God.
Texans, tough loss to Green Bay. But one person who, of course, was paying attention to all of the ins and outs, the intricacies, and the insider information at the NFL was Dave Campbell's Texas Football chief NFL insider, my mom.
Hi, this is Tep Mom reporting the NFL Minute for this week. Detroit Lions beat the Minnesota Vikings 31-29. These Detroit Lions played Texas high school football. Offensive lineman Connor Galvin went to Katy High School. Offensive lineman Marcus Davenport went to San Antonio Stevens. Ennis Rakestraw went to Duncanville High School. Levi, this is going to be a good one, Owutsugriki went to Allen High School. He's a defensive lineman. And tight end Brock Wright went to Cy Fair High School. Finally, Jake Bakes, their kicker, went to Tomball High School and Texas State. And he got the winning field goal for them. That's it for this week. Have a good one.
Thanks, Mom. Great as always, insightful as always. The insider information that we rely on here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
This is why people tune into the show.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Stock up, Shiner.
Yeah.
Remember when they were 0-3?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're the favorite in Region 4. Like, I don't think there's really any doubt about it. They get a really impressive win over Fall City, a smothering win over Fall City, 21-3. And they've been doing that to everyone, okay? Their defense, I mentioned this on the picks video last week. Even when they were losing ball games, their defense was spectacular. And it was spectacular again last week against Fall City. Stock up big time on Shiner. Stock down, Frisco Emerson.
Not what they used to be.
It might be over.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know, Frisco Emerson played in the state semifinal last year. You remember they lost to South Oak Cliff in the state semifinal. And we had high hopes for them. I think they started the year like top 5 in our 5AD2 rankings. Well, they now have 3 losses on the year. They lose this past week kind of in like runaway fashion to Lovejoy. Watch that space. But they lose to to Lovejoy last week by a final score of 48-7. You're thinking, okay, well, they're 5-3. What's the big deal? Here's the issue. They are 3-3 in district play, District 4, 5A Division 2 play. They're 3-3, and this week they play Melissa. Mm-hmm. And straight up, if they lose to Melissa, they're gonna miss the playoffs.
Which is wild.
They've already lost to Lovejoy. They've already lost to Walnut Grove. That's the one that kills them. And now they've lost to they've lost to Anna. 4 losses, and the 4 teams that are ahead of you, you don't have head ahead. It's Jover. It's Jover. Watch the space. To go from semifinals to out of the playoffs would be a pretty
substantial fall.
Pretty substantial fall there for the Mavericks. But watch this space. A disappointing loss there this past week against Lovejoy. And now it's time for the Matt Stepp. He got that dog in him. Player of the week.
And now, the Matt Stepp. He got that dog in him. Player of the week.
Hey y'all, Matt Stepp with Dave Campbell's Texas Football, live at my hotel in beautiful San Antonio, Texas, watching Texas and Georgia. But I'm not here to talk about SEC football. I'm here to talk about the Week 8 Matt Stepp, he got that dog in him award. And the winner of the Week 8 Matt Stepp, he got that dog in him award is none other than Frisco Panther Creek junior wide receiver Jalen Lott. In Friday night's incredible 4 overtime, 46-44 win over Lake Dallas, the junior wide receiver had 13 catches for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he added 25 yards rushing and a touchdown on the ground. Congrats, Jalen. You, sir, have got that dog in you.
This has been the Matt Stepp, he got that dog in him player of the week.
Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate that. My final shot. Biggest week ever? So we talked last week about Week 8, kind of a down week. Mm-hmm. We had to search a little bit and find games that were super exciting, the top tier games that we've been looking for. Last week, a little bit lacking. I mean this in all sincerity. I mean exactly what I say. I have a hard time thinking of a week of regular season Texas high school football in my 14 years on this job like we've got coming up this week. It's ludicrous. It is outrageous. Okay? An incomplete list of games. Mm-hmm. Columbus Hitchcock. Pretty good. Atascocita North Shore. Pretty good. Westlake Lake Travis. Pretty good. Panhandle Sunray. Prosper Allen, Richland Aledo, Goliad Edna, Gilmer Pleasant Grove, Bushland Shallowwater, Stephenville Lane Passes, Pearland Shadow Creek, Holiday City View, Grand Saline and Lone Oak, a matchup of unbeatens, Carrollton Creekview and West Mesquite, a battle of unbeatens, Nederland PNG, Mid-County Madness for the district title, McAllen Memorial and Edinburgh Vela, Weslaco East and PSJ North, El Paso Riverside and El Paso Austin, Pearland and I already mentioned that one. El Campo and Bay City, the longest running consecutive district or like rivalry in Texas high school football. Holland and Mason, Iowa Colony, Fort Bend Marshall, Katy Pato, Katy, Lomita and Jonesboro, Blanket and Zephyr, Llano and Randolph.
Stingham.
It is a ludicrous week of Texas high school football. It is shocking. I literally cannot remember a week of games like this in the regular season. This is the type of slate that I think matches up with like a regional semifinal week.
Yeah.
Like a third round of the playoffs type week where it's just like, man, all these games are awesome. This might be the biggest week of Texas high school football we've ever seen. So consider that. It's my final shot. That's Monday Morning Fallout.